Hello everybody, this is me, Master44, and today in this video we're going to be doing a review on the 2012 MacBook Air, so let's get into the video. So as you probably already noticed, the 2012 version of the MacBook Air really aesthetically hasn't changed that much from the 2011 model. It's still very thin, as you can see there. The ports that we have on the right side, over here we have the new Thunderbolt port. Over here we have USB 3.0, which is a very nice addition, and it gives you, you can transfer data from your external hard drives or anything like that faster. Here we have an SD slot, which only comes in the 15-inch MacBook Air. Pretty much you can just put your SD card from your camera in there. You can automatically import your photos just like that. Now on the other side of the computer we have our charging port, MagSafe 2 port, and we have a USB 3.0 port, and we have a headphone jack. Now the new model of the MacBook Air has a 720p front-facing camera, 720p webcam, and we also have a backlit keyboard that pretty much allows you to type in the dark, and it has a light sensor, so as soon as the lights go out, you can the keyboard will light up so you can easily type in the dark. And also the specs on this computer were improved considerably. Now we have an Ive Bridge processor in this computer, which is a new processor developed by Intel, which pretty much allows you to do a whole bunch of different stuff, such as editing photos and editing videos, just doing everything a little bit faster while using less energy, while having a better battery life. The MacBook Air actually has a pretty good battery life. I don't have any complaints. Sometimes it lasts me about 13 hours, so that's actually really good. Of course, it depends how much you use it. Like if you're like editing videos and exporting a whole bunch of files, of course it will probably last a little bit less. But when you just like normally browsing on the internet, it really does last quite a long time. So anyway, on this version of the MacBook Air, we have an 1.8 gigahertz Intel Core i5 processor. That is pretty much the processor you get in the base model. In the base model, you get the i5 processor, but it can also be upgraded to the i7 processor. Then, when it comes to memory, we have 8 gigabytes of memory, and the hard drive on the MacBook Air is 512 gigabytes, so that's plenty of space, more space than you would probably ever need, unless you're like a photographer and have really like big HD photos that you need to upload onto this computer. 512 gigabytes would pretty much be more than you'll ever use. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for all the specs on this computer. Now the big question that everyone's asking is whether to get the 2012 MacBook Air or the 2012 Retina Display MacBook Pro. And I have to say it's a pretty hard decision. I mean, well, actually, the MacBook Air is pretty much aimed at the average consumer, like a person that doesn't really export like HD videos and edit photos. This is probably the computer for that kind of person. Of course, it costs a lot less. The MacBook Air, like the cheapest version of the MacBook Air, would probably be the 11-inch model, and that costs $999 compared to like the $1,200 that the 15-inch MacBook Air costs, which is I believe is the cheapest MacBook. I mean, the cheapest MacBook Pro would be the 15-inch Retina display MacBook Pro. So the MacBook Pro pretty much is, of course, for the professional user, the people that like really take advantage of all of its amazing specs. And of course, the MacBook Pros now also have the Retina display, which is really nice, especially if you're a photographer and you do a lot of video editing. Of course, the MacBook Air doesn't have that kind of Retina display. Hopefully, in the 2013 MacBook Air, we'll actually see a Retina display MacBook Air. But for now, we just have some standard definition, which of course isn't bad at all. But if you put the two computers side by side, you definitely can tell the difference in the quality of the screen. So I hope this review helped you anyway. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Don't forget to tell me in the comments below what you think of the 2012 MacBook Air. Like, if you tried it, what do you think? Are you going to get the MacBook Air or the MacBook Pro? So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.